Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a wonderful guest in studio. It's Penny O'Brien, and she's a broker with Greene Realtor. Welcome.
Hi, Liz.
So tell me a little bit about what differentiates you from your other realtors in the market.
Well, what I think makes me different is that I give exceptional customer service and I'm very responsive. I think the biggest complaints about agents is they don't get back to their clients, and I'll answer text, emails, and calls 24/7. No question is unimportant. I'm a great hand holder, and I will walk my clients through the whole process from beginning to end. And I'm not part of a team, so I am the only one that you're going to talk to. But that being said, I come with a great group of professional service providers, from my lenders, attorneys, inspectors, pest control, movers, stagers, painters. So I feel like I have all those services to offer to clients. And even on the initial consultation, I'm very happy to refer any of my people to the potential client. And I'm never more happy than when I go back to someone's house and there's 2 or 3 service providers working for them. So I'm not part of a team, but I have a whole group of people that work with me and support me to make sure that we get the job done.
That sounds great. So do you have a preference or an expertise in buying or selling?
I love working with both, and what I find especially gratifying is working with a seller that was previously listed and didn't sell. It's like a puzzle. Sure. I study their pictures online, the pictures, the staging, the price, of course, and then when I meet with them, I kind of have a game plan of what I think would be very effective to do. So my favorite story about that for last year was I had a beautiful townhome personal referral, and I met with them, and I looked at the pictures, and I'm not sure, but I think the picture in the MLS was an iPhone picture. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really dark. And she also had a lot of fake plants, and it was devoid of color, which is the opposite thing that what usually has to happen. Usually you're asking them to paint or take things out. So anyway, we packed up the fake plants. My stager came, and she popped blue throughout. And then my professional photographer came. And it was such a simple transformation. We didn't even move a piece of furniture, which I move furniture all the time. So we did all of that. It was listed for 5 months previously, and we sold it in 24 days.
Wow.
And when I do meet with potential sellers, I have a staging bag book that I take with me. And this townhome is the first before and after picture that I show. And so I show the first picture and I cover up the other one and then show it. And the sellers always gasp and they always say, I can't even believe it's the same place. So 5 months versus 24 days. And it was a very simple transformation.
That's wonderful. It shows your expertise on how you set the stage, if you would. You have a reputation for having great listings. What is a great listing?
Well, a great listing to me, no matter what price range, is sellers working with me, us working together to get the home to look the best that it can be for the day that it goes on the market. So I always tell the sellers the work is done up front. We don't wait for 2 months for the buyers to say, this is a concern to them. So I have a really good eye for pre-market improvements, and it could be as simple as decluttering, but also paint, new carpet, like what does need to be done. Paint is the simplest, easiest, most inexpensive thing you can do to get the biggest impact for a seller. The jewel tones of the 2000s are out right now, and everything's very light and neutral, very popular grays. Beige is still in, and then the new grays, which is a combination of beige and gray, but with no undertones, yellow undertones to it. So convincing them to paint is the first thing I usually try to do, or paint some rooms that are necessary. So this year, my favorite story this year so far has been, I met some lovely sellers that wanted to sell their home, and they knew they were going to paint some rooms, and they knew they needed new carpet. So that battle was over when I got there. But then they did not have a 2-story foyer, and it was very dark in there, and it was painted a mustardy color. So I suggested we take the light beige throughout the foyer and the upstairs hallway and bedrooms, and they did that. And when I went back, it was amazing how it changed the house. It made it light and bright, and it was a clean slate for a buyer. So we sold in 3 days above list price.
Wow.
And they were very, very happy with me, except they told me I sold it too fast.
I bet they weren't quite ready for all that, and they were enjoying what you did.
Yeah, they weren't ready. Like, it sold really fast.
Yeah, it's really fast. So how does all this market knowledge and selling skill help your clients?
It helps me to guide my buyers to find a home in the price range that they're looking for, with the features that they want. And it also helps me to help them make an educated offer. And in reality, when they're making an offer, I'm doing a comparative market analysis like I would do for a seller for my buyer, so that they see what the home is worth.
That's nice. That's very considerate of you.
Yeah. And when I do start working with a buyer, they've also already been shopping online. Almost all 90%, over 90% of buyers start their search online. So they've narrowed down what they're looking for, but then when I start working with them, usually after we've been out together once, I can narrow it down a little bit more for them. And the best example of that is renovated kitchens. If they're looking at homes built in the 80s or 90s, then they all say, oh, we can renovate the kitchen or whatever. And you go look at a few homes and you realize they're not going to renovate a kitchen. So we say, I just say, can we stop looking at homes that have an original kitchen, because that's not what you're interested in. So that helps them narrow down their search. One of my favorite success stories for a buyer this year was a personal referral. I went out with one couple and we looked at a lovely home in a cul-de-sac, and it wasn't quite what they wanted. It didn't have quite the features they wanted. So I knew it'd work for this other couple I was working with. So as soon as I got home, I'm all excited. I sent it to them and they're like, no, we don't like the floor plan. So we went out again and I talked about it again, and they still said no. So I sent it to them again and we were going out again, and I said, please humor me. Can we look at this home? So we went and looked at it, and it's a total cliche. When she walked in, she immediately fell in love with that home. She went into the kitchen, she had her aha moment, and I could tell that was going to be their home. So even at closing, we're laughing that it took 3 tries for me to get them to go to that home, and that is their home. That's the home they ended up buying. So.
See, I think that's wonderful. I think that talks about you knowing your clients and also being a little persistent. You had a good feeling, and you trusted yourself. That was great. I hear you have some very creative marketing strategies. Tell me about them.
I think I do. Of course, all of my marketing has to start online. We have enhanced listings with Realtor.com. I also have an SEO company that makes sure that my presence on the internet, that I'm on every website I could possibly be on. They also do Facebook ads for me and promote my Facebook page. But then I still believe in paper advertising. I advertise in the Naperville magazine, and I advertise in newsletters, and especially move-up newsletters, like this price range, but you have a home up here, so if you put it in those newsletters for move-up buyers. And then I do send postcards, and the postcards go to the neighbors, but neighbors are a great source for buyers who want to live by them or move to their neighborhood. But the most important thing to me about all this advertising is I always advertise your home. The goal is to sell your home. So I think what makes me different from other agents is you see the same ad over and over again, and it's their face advertising them, whereas my goal is to sell your home. So I always put pictures of the homes and information about the homes on all of my advertising, and I change it up too. I don't use the same ad hardly ever again. So that's one way. And then Facebook, I've started using Facebook a lot more, and I do, when we have open homes, John Greene posts an open home for the weekend, everything that we have open, which of course I share. But then I also boost it, pay to boost it on my Facebook page, and I get a lot of click-throughs on those. So that's also very important to me too. And then I love broker tours. When I list your home for you, I'm going to do a broker tour. I'm going to host a good lunch to get as many agents through there as I possibly can, because it's one more set of eyes that sees your home. Right. They might not have a buyer right now, but they could get one next week. And then they also do feedback sheets, which I give to the seller so that we can see if there's something we missed, any concerns, what do they think about price. So I just think it's invaluable information to share with the seller. And when I do meet with sellers, I tell them that I'm never complacent to let their home just sit on the market. If we're not getting the activity that we want, we need to change it up a little bit, whether it's a small price reduction and an open home together, just anything to get noticed again. So I just think that's very important.
I think you've thought of everything, Penny. Penny, what's the thing that you like most about your job? What makes it easier?
Well, to accomplish the goals for my clients, but even more than that, I really like all my clients to be happy. So, and at the end of the day, that they were happy with me. Like I try, I'm going to want to get the job done, and I'm going to guide them, but I also want at the end to end up with a friend.
Mm-hmm. That's very sweet, and I'm sure you do. You are super. Thanks for stopping by and sharing all your knowledge. Appreciate it. And we're going to be right back with more Business Connection. Stay tuned.